Hello students, welcome to Dr. Deepa Dhake's NEET Biology, and in today's session we study about the different theories for opening and closing of stomata, or you can say that we mainly study about the theories which are responsible for explaining the mechanism of transpiration. So when we study about the theories regarding transpiration or theories of opening and closing of stomata. So mainly here you remember three theories we studied. First, the theory of photosynthesis. Second theory is theory of starch and sugar interconversion. So starch get convert into sugar or sugar convert into starch. So it is called theory of starch and sugar interconversion. And next third theory is there. This is the universally accepted theory. This is called potassium malate ion theory, or this theory you also remember, the theory is also called as proton transport view or proton transport theory for the opening and closing of stomata. Universally accepted theory is a potassium malate ion theory, but one by one all the three theories are important. So we study one by one all three theory. So first we study theory of photosynthesis. According to this theory, you remember when we study about this theory, so here main photosynthesis is responsible for the opening and closing of stomata. Now why the photosynthesis is responsible for opening and closing of stomata? So here you already studied in stomata chloroplast are present, and that chloroplast of guard cell, you remember, chloroplast of guard cell undergoes during daytime in photosynthesis, and because of that you remember due to the phenomena of photosynthesis in guard cell, you remember during daytime glucose synthesis is take place in guard cell. Now what is happening when the glucose is synthesized in guard cell? So because of that you remember the osmotic pressure of guard cell get increases, and due to increase in osmotic pressure why increases? Because the glucose is synthesized during the daytime, and due to synthesis of glucose, why this glucose is synthesized? Because the photosynthesis is take place, and when glucose synthesis is take place in guard cell, so there is a high concentration of glucose and less concentration of water, and it responsible for the increase of osmotic pressure of the guard cell. Once the osmotic pressure of the guard cell is increases, so here you remember in guard cell end osmosis is take place. So end osmosis in guard cell is take place, and because of end osmosis you remember the guard cell become turgid, and we already study कि whenever guard cells become turgid in state, so turgidity of the guard cell responsible for the opening of stomata. So this entire process you remember, you recall the structure of stomata. Here I only show the two guard cells along with stoma, and accessory cell I am not going to explain here. Okay, these are the two guard cells and these nucleus with a number of chloroplasts. This chloroplast you remember during daytime when responsible for photosynthesis, so concentration of glucose is increases. When the concentration of glucose increases, so from accessory cell, water start to enter inside the guard cell. Guard cell become turgid and stomata opens during the daytime. At night time when we study, so at night time you simply remember the entire process take place in reverse direction. Now why the process is going in reverse direction? Because during night time the phenomena of photosynthesis is completely stopped, and because of that you remember guard cell not showing the synthesis of glucose, or you can say glucose synthesis in guard cell is stopped during the night time. And when glucose synthesis stop, so osmotic pressure of guard cell which is increases during the daytime, this osmotic pressure slowly start to goes down, and instead of end osmosis at night time you remember in guard cell phenomena of exosmosis take place. And when exosmosis is resulted in guard cell, so water which is entered towards the guard cell in morning or in daytime, that water comes out of the guard cell or comes towards the accessory cell, and because of that the turgidity of the guard cell become convert into flaccidity. So at night time two things mainly you remember. At night time osmotic pressure of the guard cell is low, exosmosis is take place, and because of exosmosis these guard cells become in flaccid state, and because of flaccidity of the guard cell stoma become closed and it responsible to stop the process of transpiration. But when this theory is explained by the scientists, then they fail to explain that how the carbon dioxide plays significant role, or how the carbon dioxide affect the opening and closing of stomata, from where the CO2 and water is available for photosynthesis, how the glucose synthesis take place, number of things. They only gave a theoretical explanation, but mainly the scientists failed to explain the role of carbon dioxide concentration on opening and closing of stomata. That's why the theory is not accepted universally. So now we come towards the second theory, which is commonly called as starch sugar interconversion theory. So when we come towards the second theory you remember the starch and sugar interconversion theory. Now when we study about starch sugar interconversion theory, so here you remember the theory was provided by and explained by, mainly the theory was explained, you remember the explained view of the theory was provided by Stewart. According to Stewart, you remember during daytime what the conditions are responsible for opening of stomata, that you remember here. During daytime carbon dioxide is consumed in guard cell. Why this carbon dioxide consumed? Because previously scientist says the photosynthesis take place in guard cell because the chloroplast is present, and these chloroplasts regularly consume this carbon dioxide in guard cell. Because of the carbon dioxide consumption in guard cell, pH of guard cell, you remember pH of guard cell become increases, or you can say the pH of guard cell become alkaline pH. This part you remember, the basic pH or alkaline pH. Generally this pH ranges in between 7.2 to 8.2 pH. At this high pH or at alkaline pH, you remember starch slowly convert into sugar. Sugar means, you remember, the starch get convert into glucose and glucose 6 phosphate. For this process, some enzymes are responsible, and because of that, you remember, the starch gradually convert into the sugar. Again, the same concept is implemented here, as the sugar synthesis or starch convert into sugar and the concentration of sugar increases in guard cell. So guard cell undergoes in end osmosis because the osmotic pressure of the guard cell is increases. The students who are having somewhat doubt about the values of osmotic pressure, how the osmotic pressure responsible for turgidity of the guard cell or endosmosis and exosmosis, they kindly go through the previous videos which are regarding previous sessions regarding the osmotic pressure and water potential. So in that session actually I explained all these things, why the osmotic pressure increases, how osmotic pressure plays significant role. So simply here you remember, whenever concentration of solute increases, the solute concentration if increase, so it also increases the osmotic pressure of the guard cell. When the glucose concentration increases during daytime, osmotic pressure of the guard cell increases. To balance that osmotic pressure, endosmosis phenomena is responsible for the opening of stomata because guard cells will become in turgid state. So this part you remember, starch during daytime convert into sugar. For this, Stewart provide one explanation that starch during daytime, when the pH become 7.2 to 8.2 during daytime in guard cell, the starch gradually convert into glucose. This glucose with the help of phosphorylase enzyme get convert into glucose 6 phosphate, and this glucose 6 phosphate, remember, responsible for increase in osmotic pressure of the guard cell. As the osmotic pressure of the guard cell increases, endosmosis phenomena is appear, and because of endosmosis, guard cell become in turgid state, and in turgid state you remember, stomata get open. This phenomena you remember, the entire process we appear, or the changes in guard cell we appear during the daytime. So during daytime you remember, the guard cell become open, turgid, and the stomata become open. So this part you remember for the daytime. At night time, what the conditions are available at night time? At night time, as the process of photosynthesis stop, respiration begins. So the carbon dioxide which is consumed during the daytime in guard cell, that CO2 at night, here we remember this part we explain for night time and for daytime. So at night time, CO2 accumulation, so CO2 accumulate in guard cell. Now when the CO2 is accumulate in guard cell, so because of the increased concentration of carbon dioxide, at daytime you remember, at night time you remember, the pH goes down or acidic, and this acidic pH ranges between 6.4 to 7.0, or sometime it comes below the 6.0 also. Okay, so when the pH of the guard cell becomes 6.4 or near about 6.4, so because of CO2 accumulation, carbon dioxide releases in respiration also, the pH become acidic. At acidic pH, you remember, at acidic pH, the guard cells undergoes in exosmosis. Now why the guard cells undergoes in exosmosis? Because the glucose which is formed, this glucose gradually get convert into starch. Now as the starch synthesis begins in night time, osmotic pressure, you remember, osmotic pressure of the guard cell, exactly reverse process. Osmotic pressure of the guard cell decreases. Phenomena of exosmosis is take place, and this exosmosis result in turgidity of the guard cell, and because of exosmosis is take place, and this exosmosis is responsible for flaccidity of the guard cell. Okay, so exosmosis will result in flaccidity of the guard cell, and because of flaccid guard cells, stomata, here you remember, stomata get closed. So if you prepared for the objective purpose, so mainly you pay attention on the pH range, because the change in pH is mainly responsible for the activity of enzyme which convert the starch into glucose during the daytime or night time when the pH become decreases or the pH range of the guard cell become acidic. So in guard cell, this glucose gradually start to convert into starch. As the starch synthesis begins in guard cell at night, osmotic pressure goes down, exosmosis phenomena is take place, guard cell enters in flaccid state, and because of flaccidity, stoma or stomata is closed and the transpiration phenomena get automatically stopped. So these are the two theories. Now we come towards the one third most important theory, that is the potassium malate ion theory. This theory also, you remember, normally not accepted by all the scientists, because the same condition, that the how carbon dioxide concentration, here they explain the carbon dioxide is responsible for increase or decrease of the pH, but they fail to explain that how the carbon dioxide concentration is responsible for opening and closing of stomata. So now we come towards the third theory, and this third theory is a universally accepted view. Most of the questions for NEET exams are mainly based on this view only, that is the proton transport theory or potassium malate ion theory. Now we discuss about third and one of the most important view, that is proton transport theory, or why the proton transport, that we study when we come towards the explanation for theory. The protons are transported due to the activity of potassium ion. So the theory is also called as potassium malate ion theory or view. Leavitt theory was proposed by Leavitt. This is the most accepted view for the explanation of mechanism of opening and closing of stomata. Now exactly what is happening during this phenomena, so that we study, that entire process we study with the help of flow chart. And in this flow chart, you remember, we show this flow chart for the conditions whichever change in day and night time in stomata. So in half part we show this phenomena. Here we show the changes take place in day time. During daytime, you remember, the starch, as we studied, starch slowly convert into malic acid. Now why this starch is convert into malic acid? So the conceptual part is exactly same that proposed by the Steward in his scheme for opening and closing of stomata, that during daytime pH range of the guard cell become increases, and because of increase in pH, the starch become convert into an organic acid, that is malic acid. This malic acid, you remember, immediately broken down into malate ion as well as hydrogen ion. Now this hydrogen ion, you remember, this is, we explained this part for the guard cell, and besides the guard cell accessory cells are there. So from guard cell protons or hydrogen ions are comes out, or they enter inside the accessory cells or subsidiary cell, and this movement of hydrogen ion or proton is called as efflux of proton or efflux of hydrogen ion. In response to efflux of protons, this is again the example for antiport also, the influx of potassium ion is take place. So potassium ion usually present inside the accessory cell or subsidiary cell. From subsidiary cell, these potassium ions are start to enter inside the cytoplasm of guard cell to maintain the electric gradient of the cell or osmotic gradient of the cell. So now potassium ion get enter inside the cytoplasm of guard cell. Here the potassium ion react with malate and responsible for the formation of potassium malate. Here you remember this potassium malate is experimentally, the presence of potassium malate is experimentally proved, and that's why we say this is the universally accepted theory, because this theory and the subproducts which are responsible for opening and closing of stomata, they are experimentally detected in inside the cytoplasm of the guard cell. So potassium malate, you remember this potassium malate when synthesized during daytime. So potassium malate again responsible for osmotic pressure increase. The osmotic pressure of guard cell, you remember, osmotic pressure of guard cell increases. This increase in osmotic pressure responsible for endosmosis. So more and more water from accessory cell enter in guard cell, and because of endosmosis, guard cell, you remember, guard cell become turgid, and due to turgidity of guard cell, the stomata become open. So these are the changes which are take place during the daytime in guard cell and responsible for the opening of stomata. Now when we come towards the night time, so at night time you see what are the changes are take place, or you can summarize for theory exams during night time entire process take place in reverse direction. The osmotic pressure of the guard cell become decreases, and because of the flaccidity of the guard cell stomata become closed. Now at night time you remember this potassium malate, again you remember it broken down into, the potassium malate, you remember this potassium malate further breaks into malate ion as well as into potassium ion. Now the during daytime influx of potassium ion is take place, but at night time efflux of potassium ion, and to maintain the concentration gradient of the guard cell, the equal number of protons are to be enter. So it is called influx of hydrogen ion or protons. These protons, you remember, here react with malate ion and responsible for the formation of malic acid. This malic acid, now the pH of the guard cell, you remember, the pH of the guard cell is very low. And why the pH is decreases or low? Because the process of respiration is begins in night time, and the level of carbon dioxide gradually increases in guard cell. Due to carbon dioxide level increase, the pH of the guard cell become decreases, and at acidic pH, you remember, malic acid get convert into starch. Because of starch synthesis, osmotic pressure of the guard cell decreases. Exosmosis is resulted in closing of stomata. Why the stomata closed? Due to exosmosis. So because of exosmosis, you remember the guard cell become in flaccid state, and due to flaccidity of the guard cell or exosmosis in guard cell, the stomata become closed and process of transpiration automatically closed at the night time. So this part you remember for the third view, that is a most accepted view, and it is commonly called as potassium malate ion theory. If you go through the last year question papers, so you find out one most common question, that which among the following ion is responsible for opening and closing of stomata, or the ion which is mainly present in accessory cell or subsidiary cell. So for that you remember the potassium ions are the ions which are responsible for the opening and closing of the stomata. So this part you remember very well. And secondly, during explanation of this theory, the scientist observed the presence of one inhibitor in guard cells. So whenever they observe, whenever the concentration of carbon dioxide is increases near around the stomata. So suppose when we study that this is the leaf, and in this leaf, dicot leaf, the stomata are present, and around the stomata or near the stomata, when the CO2 concentration is increases. So this increased carbon dioxide concentration is responsible for the formation of one inhibitor, that is abscisic acid. And this abscisic acid you remember is synthesized inside the guard cell, and this abscisic acid is responsible for partial closing of the stomata. So if the carbon dioxide concentration is increases even during the daytime, if CO2 concentration is increases nearby the stomata, so the carbon dioxide concentration causes the synthesis of abscisic acid, and the abscisic acid partially close the process of transpiration, or they partially close the stomata. And as the scientists explain, exactly they explain how the carbon dioxide concentration affect the process of opening and closing of stomata. The presence of potassium malate experimentally detected inside the guard cells mainly during daytime. That's why this theory is accepted universally for the mechanism of transpiration. So students, all the students, those who are preparing for class 11th exams, they also go through these three theories. But if question is asking for explanation of the mechanism of transpiration, so you can only explain this potassium malate ion theory. The students who are prepared for NEET exam, they kindly go through all these three theory. Pay attention on the osmotic pressure values. When will be the osmotic pressure increase, decrease? Whenever endosmosis take place, guard cell become turgid. Exosmosis causes the flaccidity of the guard cell. How the concentration is increases and decreases in guard cell, that kind of questions are also asked in NEET exam. So for today's session, we discuss mainly about the mechanism of transpiration, or for the opening and closing of the stomata. And in next session, we continue with the next topic, as we strictly again and again I am saying, we strictly follow NCERT. So, and some part apart from NCERT we discuss, like this part is not it's provided in detail, but this part is required to study in detail. So that's why I explain all these things in apart from the NCERT. Okay, so up to next session, stay motivated, stay blessed, stay connected with channel, and the students who are new for the session, they kindly subscribe my channel, like my videos and share my videos.